Hey everyone, Tom the People Conductor Black here, trying to bring people together for mutual benefit as I like to do. And I wanted to introduce the CEO of Pinpoint Skip. I'm not even going to give anybody any background. You can just dive right in, and then I'm going to fill everybody in on what I know about you and how long I have known you. But what I do know is you know how to find good real estate deals, and now you have a better way for all of us to find them. So I don't want to pronounce your first name wrong. So how do I pronounce it?
It's Faisal, but
Faisal.
I've heard it all. So
Okay, Faisal. Well, anyway, why don't you take it away? Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you've been up to, and let's get some people working with pinpointskip.com.
sure. So I used to be a data analyst. I worked for a software company for about 5 or 6 years, and just realized that I didn't want to do it for the next 30 or 40 years. So I started looking into real estate investing. I did my first flip back in 2018. It was a complete disaster. It should have been a 6-month flip. It ended up being a 14-month flip, and I either broke even or lost like $10,000. I don't know. I never looked back. Took a little break. Found out that my wife was pregnant with our first kid, and so I started looking into rentals. Bought what would have been my first rental 2 weeks after he was born, which was right when COVID shut everything down. And so that rental took a little bit longer than expected because we ended up having to redo all the plumbing and electricity. And so because of those two issues, I ended up going over budget, and I wouldn't have had any money to burr out of it. And so we decided to sell it. And, as you know, with that market, it was absolutely bonkers. So I ended up making like $40,000 or $50,000 on it. And that was at the end of 2020. And then at the beginning of 2021, I got let go from my job. And it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I more than lost that job probably for like 15, 20 minutes, but realized like, hey, I have this nest egg that I'm sitting on. Let me see if I can, be successful in the real estate business. So I took that money. I spent probably like $15,000 or $20,000 of it in the first month, just setting up all my systems and pulling a bunch of data. And as I was starting my business, I realized that there had to be a better way when it came to data. I think I spent like 15 cents per record, pulling it from list source and prop stream and skip tracing it, and still wasn't getting 100% accuracy on my data. So beginning of last summer, I started venturing out, trying to find different providers that I could eventually sell their data. And so I found one towards the end of the summer that I started using in my wholesaling business, and I've been crushing it ever since. And so at the beginning of this year, I decided to venture out and actually start selling the data. And for me, it's been so rewarding seeing all these people buying my data and getting deals that they didn't get without it. So I kind of see myself almost in as like a consultant, because I want people to learn from my mistakes, because I paid a lot of money to learn from these mistakes. And so I'll hop on calls with people and tell them what I do in my business and what I would do in their shoes. So it's been going really well.
Wow. I wish you nothing but much success. Faisal and I have been in various groups and both work in the Baltimore metro market now. And that's an old saying, I'm a homer. If I can work with homegrown local people, I certainly want to. And I've worked with a number of other data providers who charge more money, and there's varying levels of accuracy. So based on the testimonials and the people I know that you are already working with and are getting those results, tell us a little bit more. I think I saw something on your website where you have different list types, some maybe even a little more narrowed as far as motivated seller leads. what are some of the motivated seller lead types that you really focus on yourself and your business?
So the two main ones that have been absolutely crushing it for me, there's one called potential absentee that I started using in September. So basically, potential absentee are people who own more than one property that don't have forwarding addresses on them. So it looks like they're owner occupied. And then we scrub it against the absentee list. So anybody who is targeting the absentee list aren't targeting these people. And
Right.
so, I mean, it's been absolutely, like I said, crushing it for me in my business. So I love that list. And then the second one that's been doing really good for me since the beginning of the year is called a missing data list. So because a lot of our records are pulled from public records, there's obviously human error in there. And so anywhere where there's a null or a blank, like a sales date or the sales price, or there's potential absentees, or sorry, potential divorces, bankruptcies, inheritance, and tax delinquencies on there too.
Right.
So that one's been doing really great for us as well.
Okay. Good. And one of the things that you and I had talked about, and obviously, this is going to go on my YouTube channel. I can, certainly send you the recording as well. But I saw the pricing on your website. What could any of our viewers, you had mentioned something before about possibly having a coupon code. So if someone has a list right now of 1,000 names and they want to get it skip traced, how would they go about doing that?
Sure. So you just go to www.pinpointskip.com. And if you don't want to pull one of our lists, you can just upload your own list for skip tracing. It's typically 8 cents per record submitted. So, it's about 90%, of the records will return. But, for Tom's audience, you could put in the coupon code Tom and you'll get a cent off. So it'll be 7 cents instead of 8 cents.
Okay. Great. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I'll make sure I have some information in the description. So I believe your email is info@pinpointskip.com.
Yeah, or you can just email me directly. It's Faisal, Faisal@pinpointskip.com.
Okay. And I'll make sure I also put that information in the description. So based on the results that you're getting, and you definitely mentioned that you're crushing it, what about these lists do you think is helping you maybe get a better price or get better opportunities? Maybe fewer people are looking at these leads?
Yeah, and for me, because it's a cheaper price point, I'm able to pull a lot more records. And so, if you combine, I guess, the amount of records plus, the people that are actually targeting them, then yeah, I mean, and right now we're only doing cold calling, so it's not like we're doing anything fancy, and just strictly cold calling all these lists and just following up with them.
Okay. And the other thing is, as far as the data that you have available, how or are you doing it? Are you currently doing it in any market?
Yeah, so we actually have people nationwide that are finding success with these lists.
Okay, great. So just a couple more things I wanted to add. Since Faisal has been actively involved in the greater Baltimore metro market, he's created quite a following of people who not only followed your journey with the 14-month rehab, but all of the things that you've done along the way. So I just want to let you know that from a personal and professional perspective, I completely support and endorse pinpointskip.com. And I can't wait to introduce more of those people in my network. I belong to about 500 Facebook real estate groups, so I plan to circulate and share the good news of, from this interview. And when anyone's asking, almost every day, someone is posting in these different groups, and 10 people are spamming about lists and skip tracing services and this kind of thing. Is there any advice that you would give to anyone, like maybe even a unique value proposition? Why why do you think Pinpoint is a good choice? Because, obviously it's an investor owned, so that's a great point. But what else have you found about the accuracy of your data?
Sure. So what I actually do is list stacking, which I'm sure you know what it is. But for people that don't know, it's when you take lists and literally you stack them on top of each other. I use a software called REI Sift. I know you can do it in batch leads as well. But you upload the list and then basically you upload multiple lists. So people who are on multiple lists in theory are more motivated to sell their properties. So the way we target is we target stacked lists first. So people who are on multiple lists, and then we go with the what's called like a higher vexation. So like tax delinquencies, bankruptcies, vacants, potential absentees, missing data, and basically just try to target the ones that need our help the most. And the stacked lists are really the ones that are, have the highest motivation and are more likely to sell within the first 6 months.
Right. Well, it sounds to me like you're scaling your business and kind of ramping things up and have been for a while. Are you focused primarily on providing great lists and skip tracing and wholesaling, or what else are you doing right now in the real estate space?
Yeah. So the data has just come recently, like I said, within the past like 6 months. So the wholesaling is the primary means for me. And right now I'm just whatever I'm not wholesaling, I'm wholetailing. So I'm buying it, putting 5 or 10,000 into it, and then relisting it. And we're trying to go from settlement to settlement in 90 days or less. I don't do any more big rehabs. After that one, I guess I have PTSD. So, it's just pretty much just trying to find a couple rentals along the way and helping wherever I can, really.
Sure. And I didn't want to miss out on this. I wanted to mention our mutual associate, Andre White, who's doing wholesaling, and he and I and Darnell, we did a wholesale deal together in Joppa last year, and we're working on a couple of opportunities right now, including one in Windsor Mill. I wanted to just really thank you, not only for what you're providing to the marketplace, because I know that people are going to be able to get better opportunities, but thank you for spending the time and answering these questions. Is there anything else in wrapping up here that you wanted to share about Pinpoint, or anything unique you're doing with the scripts that are really making a difference?
I mean, honestly, as far as my wholesaling business goes, I'm not doing anything that nobody else is already doing. I don't have an original thought. What I just tell people is just stay consistent, follow up with people. I mean, we've had deals that we've been following up on for a year, and it's just a matter of timing. Finding when people actually need your help and just adding value. And just what I tell people is find a way to add value, and the money will come.
Right.
That's probably the best piece of advice that I can give.
Right. Well, again, I really appreciate your time. In the description here in this video, we'll put all of Faisal's contact information about pinpointskip.com, and some of the lists available, so you'll be able to make a quick, informed decision. But we definitely want to be able to get you these stacked leads. So, and as Faisal was mentioning, different levels of motivation when a seller is on, 1, 2, 3, 4 list, that type of thing. So again, thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and really look forward to spreading the word.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Take care.
You too.